Good morning, third grade scholars. Miss Keck here, ready to jump into some Tier 3 RTI reading comprehension lessons. Before we get started, we're going to make sure that we have everything we need to grow our brains and be successful today. All you need today is this story, I Am Human, from GetEpic.com. You can pause the video now and unpause it when you're ready to continue. Alrighty, scholars, I'm super excited to jump in with our lesson today. But first, I'm going to ask you a question. Scholars, can you tell me about some feelings you've been having lately? Tell Ms. Keck about some feelings you've been having lately. Awesome. I've been having some of those feelings too. Do you know what it means to be human? Tell Ms. Keck what you think it means to be a human. Awesome job, scholars. Thank you for sharing. Our story, I Am Human, shows that it's okay to make mistakes while also emphasizing the power of good choices. Before we get started, we're going to go through some of the sight words that we will see today in the book. We are popping up right here. Our first sight word is and. Say it, say it, say it. Our next sight word is even. Say it, say it, say it. Our third sight word is tell me. You got it, it's my. Say it, say it, say it. And our last sight word is tell me. Have. You got it. Say it, say it, say it. Awesome job, scholars. Give me a high five. All right, scholars, there might be some words in the story that we might not know. Can you tell me how we decode words in our story? Tell Ms. Keck. Great job, scholars. We find chunks of the story that we know and we think to ourselves, does that make sense? And we read it faster and faster until we see if that makes sense. We're going to take a look at this word here. I don't know this word, so I'm going to check it out. Bions. I don't think bions is going to be in our story, but I see a chunk right here, bill, and I know this is uns. Billions. Does that make sense? Yes, it makes sense in our story about being human, and there's billions of humans in the world. Awesome job, scholars. So use the strategy, ask yourself, does that make sense? And find chunks that you know from the story. Before we continue with our story, we're going to have a question that you're going to think about, and it is, what does the author want us to learn from the story? What does the author want us to learn from the story? While you're reading, you're going to ask yourself, what does the author want us to learn from the story? You can pause the video now and unpause the video when you finish reading your story accurately and fluently. Go. Amazing job, scholars, reading that book. You did such an amazing job reading and comprehending all of the words in that story. Before we get started, what do we have to do? Tell Ms. Keck. You got it. We have to mine for evidence. When we mine for evidence, we find the answer in the book to make sure that we're correct, and we can show our teacher that we found the answer. So let's jump into our first question. Our first question is a factual question. You can find the answer directly in the story. Our first question is, what are some of the things that makes the character human? What are some of the things that makes the character human? Find the evidence. Awesome job, scholars. Now tell me the answer. Tell me the answer. Amazing job, scholars. You did an amazing job of telling me many examples of what are some of the things that make our character human. Amazing job. Kiss your brain. Alrighty. Our next question is an inferential question. You take the text and the picture and what you know to find the answer. What does the character mean when he says, I'm choosing my path? What does the character mean when he says, I'm choosing my path? Find the evidence. Awesome job, scholars. Now tell me the answer. Amazing job, scholars. Kiss brain. You did an amazing job finding that inferential question. Our last two questions are critical thinking questions. You will have to think about how the character might have changed, what the message in the story is, or what motivated the character to do something. So, why is the main character called human and not have a name in the story? Why is the main character called human and not have a name in the story? Find the evidence. Awesome job, scholars. Now tell me the answer. Amazing job, scholars. Kiss your brain. Alrighty, scholars, we're going to do our last critical thinking question for the day, and it is, what does the author want us to learn from the story? What does the author want us to learn from the story? Alright, scholars, find the evidence. Amazing job, scholars. Now tell me the answer. Amazing job, scholars. You did an amazing job today answering all those questions and reading the book. I will see you next time. Bye, scholars.